gonna shoot today because I realized that I left my camera at home, which meant I had to go home, then to the other gym, then to this gym, because I had to go to the other gym to get all my gear. But yeah, now I'm here. I'm gonna try to get warmed up really quickly. Took a little bit more time than I wanted to get here. And then today I'm really gonna be focusing on some of the Moonboard benchmarks, which means they're basically gonna be all of the boulders, but at their like kind of sandbag truest form. So I think all the boulders I've been climbing is like kind of like the consensus based, but I think the benchmarks are what, you know, the stout grades of like, this is what a V5 or V6 should actually feel like. Alright people, so I'm pretty much warmed up. I'm ready to get on the Moonboard. I'm going to try some benchmarks. The first one is called Saluhallen V4. I think the Saluhallens have been really cool. I actually just tried this one on my warm-up, but I'm going to showcase it. It's really sweet. A lot of moves kind of make your feet kind of fly out all fantastically. But they're not generally too crazy hard. I would say the hardest thing is kind of the dexterity getting to the move and whatnot. But yeah, I'm going to jump on it. Yeah, it was a sweet problem. I really liked the movements. It just flowed really well and nice fun little lock-offs in it and everything. I would say I understand the difficulty now. Like, I don't think that it's too sandbagged or anything. Maybe it's because I got a little bit stronger, but no, it was good. Definitely really good. I liked it. Now to move on to V5. Party going on over here. Moonboard's a pretty popular tool. But yeah, it's been good. So the V5 the first V5 I tried I couldn't do. There was just this weird move that just wasn't working for me, and then I bounced over to the other V5, also a benchmark, and that one I could do. They felt similar difficulty. I think I was just doing something wrong in the first one. But yeah, I think a lot of the climbs I actually was doing in the past episodes were actually benchmarks without me knowing it, because I was just looking through the filters and I was going to most repeated and highest rated, and a lot of those are the benchmarks. And they're also the ones that are kind of true to like what the user that made it put it and what everybody else puts as their consensus of what they think it is, because it gives you like an average rating as well. But yeah, so moving on to V6. That last 5 I did, it was pretty sweet. It all just came down to that heel hook was really high for me. It was a little, felt a little heinous. I wasn't sure if I could do it, and I guess I could have matched the last hold before going up, but I did a harder bump, I guess. But I don't know. Pretty fun so far. Good times. sweet one. I would say probably one of the softer 6s on the benchmark side, but still, I guess, kind of felt like a 6 nonetheless. I'd say the hardest part was kind of that like high foot that went into it, and kind of that undercling, getting that. You had to get a really high foot into it as well. I guess it was more about the compression than like the difficulty of like each specific move. But yeah, the 6s definitely start to lend into the territory of, okay, now we're giving you much smaller holds and you're making really big moves to them. This is where things kind of get more into context. I actually purposely picked like a more crimpy V7, and I don't know if I could do this one actually. This one's quite hard. Like, that was my first go and I felt like everything in my body kind of cracking. I'm like, oh, I didn't warm up quite good enough. But it was cool. I'm just gonna have to work from that cruxy move, but yeah, the holds are all the yellow holds, so they're all like kind of smaller guys and more of like the true to form kind of boulder problem type thing. Yeah, well, that's all she wrote. One thing I actually forgot is that Moonboard is very hard on your skin, so I feel like it's a good topper after like a gym session. Like gym session up to like, you know, try 1 or 2 limit boulders and then Moonboard for a little bit on whatever you're working, your limit, because just doing a 4, a 5, a 6, I think I did 2 6s and maybe 2 5s. And now I'm already feeling torched on the 7 after a few tries. In 7, I'm seeing benchmark-wise is definitely at my limit grade. I think I could probably do an 8, but it would take a few projecting sessions. Like the 7 already seems like I would have to warm up pretty quickly and not do a whole bunch of Moonboard problems and then start working the 7 because they're so finger intensive and there's so much power involved. And I haven't really been training the recruitment. I haven't done any campusing recently. It's just been like static hangboarding and some bouldering circuits. So I'm realizing I'm kind of weaker now on the Moonboard than I was, you know, a few months back when I was shooting initially. I was usually be able to take a 7 down fairly quickly, and now I feel like my finger strength is good, but getting to the hold and latching it all at once, I've kind of lost that a little bit. But I still think it was fun to kind of check out the benchmarks, and when it gets around 7, I really feel it. I'm really noticing like, okay, these are like, feel like real 7s, like really stout, and really big moves to like pretty small, pretty bad holds, and I can see my bouldering fear coming back because I've hurt tendons in the past, and I think that's holding me back because there's a few moves that I feel like I probably could have hit or done a little bit better if I just squeezed a bit harder, but gotta get it back, right? So yeah, all in all, the benchmarks, they were quite stout, but the first 2, like the 4s and the 5s, weren't all that bad. I was like kind of right there with them, and then once it hit like 6s and 7s is when they really started to get kind of really, really stout. And they were usually like one move or something that, it was like a one move that made kind of the grade type of thing, since there's so few moves on the Moonboard boulders. But it was fun working them. I just felt like my skin went super fast this session. I think the gym holds don't tear your skin up as much. That's probably a good thing. That means I'm gonna develop better skin if I get back on the Moonboard more consistently. But yeah, and then that 7 I couldn't actually put down. I tried 2 different 7s, and it came to both of them just had one move I couldn't quite get. And I think it comes down to I don't have that kind of power recruitment. I haven't been doing really any limit bouldering. I've just been hangboarding and doing some moderate bouldering. So kind of gotta get that power back. All in all, I think they're all kind of relatively similar when it comes to benchmarks and just kind of user graded stuff. It's probably good if the user grade is whatever grade you're looking for. I would say that's good enough. And then benchmarks is, I guess, a more official way of being like, this should be the grade. But yeah, that's just my take on it. It was a lot of fun. I felt weak today, but gonna fight through it. Gonna go get some rest and power up for the next session.